What's up guys, I'm Caden with Crypto Now or Never and welcome back to another Turbo update. If you enjoy this style of content, please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. As always, none of this is financial advice. Let's get into it.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want.
Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and hop straight into Turbo, and you can see that Turbo is currently trading at a $253 million market cap. And in my last 2 or 3 Turbo videos, I've just been talking about how, in my opinion, we're trading in a falling wedge. And you can see that this falling wedge is actually still intact. We haven't had a breakout, but we also haven't broken down out of it. Now, you can see that yesterday actually had a very strong candle close, though. We had a great bounce and we're up double digits right now. And you can probably argue that a good reason Turbo is bouncing is because the entire market is bouncing. You can see Bitcoin also had a very strong daily close. If you look at Ethereum, same exact thing, very strong daily close. And in order for Turbo to have a massive breakout, you're probably going to want to see a breakout for Ethereum. Now, what's interesting for the entire crypto market right now is actually the S&P. And if you guys watched my market update yesterday, I told you guys that I am very bullish on the S&P chart. The reason for that is because if you look at the daily time frame, we were forming a textbook bull flag. And this bull flag was retesting the point of control on the VRVP, and it was also retesting the 21-day moving average. And then you pair that with the fact that the stochastics were extremely oversold. There was a very high likelihood that we were going to break out of this flag, and we already had a very strong close yesterday. And this close already broke out of the flag. And understand, if the S&P does continue breaking out, then that's probably going to be very bullish for Bitcoin and Ethereum. And if you look at Bitcoin on the daily time frame right now, you can see that we are retesting the 21-day and the 50-day. We're basically trading on those levels. These are definitely levels that we want to see Bitcoin break above. And if you look at the stochastics, they have plenty of juice to keep going. I wouldn't be shocked if this happens at all. As for Ethereum though, the main level that I'm watching right now is the 200-day. As you guys know, for a long time, Ethereum was trading in this bull flag, and we actually got rejected off of the 200-day like 7 or 8 different times. We came up rejection, 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 rejection. You can just see the many different rejections. So in that regard, nothing has changed. We need to get back above this level. And same thing as with Bitcoin, the RSI and stochastics have juice to keep going. I wouldn't be shocked at all if we do continue to have a decent move. And again, if Ethereum does continue to do well, then I would expect Turbo to do well. And Turbo, I am mainly just watching this falling wedge. If we can break out of this structure, then I think that could be extremely bullish for Turbo. If we come over here and we look at meme coins ranked, you can see that Turbo is still doing very well. It's up 10% in the last 24 hours, and it's matching pretty much all of the projects around it. But where I think Turbo almost always excels is its volume. You can see that it's at 73.5 million, and it's up 63% in the last 24 hours. And you can see right now that a lot of the volume is coming from HTX and Binance. HTX is 11.9% and Binance is 12%. In my last 2 Turbo videos, HTX actually had higher volume than Binance. However, Binance has flipped it again. There was a point in time where HTX was over 30%. HTX was doing very well for Turbo. Either way though, 73 million volume is still very good. This shows me that there's absolutely still interest in Turbo. And when you have this good of volume, it wouldn't be surprising at all to see a breakout, especially when market conditions are improving. Now, if we come over and we take a look at the Turbo X account, there hasn't been any major news since my last Turbo update. And I'll be honest with you guys though, I wasn't expecting any major news when the market was bleeding. If there are bullish catalysts ahead, then there is no point in announcing that during a red market. As a project, you want to capitalize on market momentum. So now that the market's starting to improve again, we'll see what happens. Either way though, Turbo is still one of the strongest projects out there. I am always very impressed with this project. They have an excellent community. But that's about it for the update today on Turbo. Again, I think it's still very important to just keep your eyes on macro conditions. I understand everyone wants to see a Turbo breakout, but I would not expect a Turbo breakout until we see Ethereum breakout. And Ethereum is probably going to be heavily correlated to Bitcoin and actually the S&P. And I do think the S&P does look very good right now. But obviously macro news always outweighs technical analysis. So if we get some bad macro news, then it could just drop all the charts right back down. But if you guys are interested in Turbo and you guys are interested in getting into projects super early, then I always recommend taking a look at my Discord. We're printing in here pretty much every single day. If you look at the all-time gainer section, we have hit some massive multipliers in here. So if this is the kind of community that you'd like to be a part of, you can find the link right here on my YouTube homepage. I'd love to see you guys in here. But that's about all. Let me know down in the comments how you guys are feeling about Turbo. If you found this content valuable, please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your day.